All right, welcome to section 4, sorting, filtering, and grouping. Now up to this point, we've been really sticking with the basics. We learned how to bring in and insert pivot tables, manipulate views, deal with source data, and use formatting tools to customize the look and feel. But realistically, we're not even scratching the surface in terms of how powerful these pivot tables can be. And this section is designed to start to show you some of those capabilities, specifically in terms of sorting, filtering, and grouping. And these are the tools that will start to allow you to slice and dice and explore and really analyze your data in much more meaningful ways. So, when you're looking at a pivot, for any of your column headers, you should see this little drop-down menu which activates the sorting and filtering options. You can also right-click on any value within the column to get to the same menu. And in here you'll see a combination of sorting options like A to Z, Z to A, or more sort options, which allow you to choose ascending or descending orders based on other metrics, which we'll talk about. And then you've got your filter options as well, your label filters, which are based on text, your value filters, which are based on numerical fields, and your manual selections here at the bottom. So let's jump to our pivot and start out by practicing some of these 3 sort options. So here we are back in our IMDb pivot, and again we're looking at genres with gross revenue. 2 instances, one showing data bars, one showing our raw values. Now if we want to do some sorting of this genre field, as you can see it's defaulted to A to Z, which is pretty standard. If we switch that to Z to A, as you might expect, the order just reverses. So now we have westerns at the top and action down at the bottom. You also have the ability to customize the order of this list if you choose, just by dragging and dropping. So let's say I want to move mystery up. I could select the mystery line and shift my cursor right to the edge until it turns into this 4-pointed shape, and then click and drag and just move that to where I choose. So that's always an option, but when it comes to sorting options, the most powerful tool falls in this more sort options bucket. And if you open that up, what this allows you to do is order your genres or whatever row labels you're looking at, either ascending or descending by one of the fields or metrics that's currently in your pivot table. So right now we've got our 2 measures of gross revenue. I could choose either one. Let's pick our first one, and we're going to order the genres descending by gross revenue. And when you press OK, as you can see now, actions at the top, followed by comedy, then adventure, then drama, and our data bars reflect that as well. So similarly, I could go back into sort options and choose ascending instead, and that just reverses the order here. Now one thing that's cool is that if we dragged in another field, let's say budget for instance, and I want to go ahead and format this consistently, currency with no decimals. Now if I go back into my sort options and go into descending again, I've got budget as an option as well. So the more fields that I bring in, the more sorting options that I have. So in this case, let's sort descending by budget. And as you can see, our chart of revenue follows a very, very similar pattern with just a few exceptions, which makes sense because the films that had the highest production budgets tend to be the ones that sell the most tickets and generate the most revenue. And then keep in mind that right now we only have one set of row labels with genre, but we could pull others in as well. So let's say we wanted to see by country first. Remember, we're looking at a tabular table layout right now, which isn't the best format for analyzing or exploring data. So I'll go into the Tools, Design, Report Layout, Outline Form, and why don't we go back into Report Layout and do not repeat those item labels. So now I've got a cleaner outline view. If I wanted to show subtotals here, I could turn those back on at the top of the group. And now because we're in outline form, we're able to access our sorting and filtering options for any of our row labels. So I can set specific rules for country or specific rules for genre. So in this case, we'll keep our genres sorted descending by budgets. And why don't we apply a second sorting to our countries from Z to A. So as you can see now, we start with West Germany, then USA, and we're going in reverse alphabetical order. And within each of these countries, the genres are sorted descending by budget, since that's the sort logic that we set. So tons of options here, tons of functionality. Sorting tools are really useful when it comes to starting to drill into your data and identify trends and insights.